All right. Welcome in, y'all, to another episode of Shooting from the Script. Appreciate y'all joining us today. Make sure y'all share the video, like the channel. If y'all on Critically Drinking, make sure y'all come over and follow on Shooting from the Script. If you're on Facebook as well, make sure you follow Shooting from the Script on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and drop that down. All right. So sorry for the delay, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to everybody on all the platforms. And hey, man, without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's welcome in our guest tonight. He is La Submission Gustavo.
Yes,
All right.
baby.
Yeah, man. Definitely one of the better logos in our wrestling scene, man. So I appreciate it, man. How you feeling tonight, sir?
I would say great, but with the holiday season happening, it kind of is what it is. You know, uh,
Yeah.
uh, it's one of those.
Yeah, no, for sure, no doubt, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in. So let's get right into the business, man. You got a buddy of mine that I'm super tight with. You super cool with him too, man. We're gonna get right into the shooting part of this, man. Hey, when I say his little man is like the coolest little dude ever, bro. That's my little buddy, man.
I
You
mean,
know,
I fight for him, and you
mhm.
see how he is, so I can't let
Mhm.
him down. Friends with everybody. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's your guy. He's my guy. Um, even my baby mama's favorite wrestler too. That's his guy too. I
Hmm.
it's good. It's good to have family around. It's good to see him, doing his thing. I'm
Oh
glad
yeah.
I'm raising up around good people.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I was gonna go right into asking, man, just like having him around and you know what I'm saying, having him, with you and having him see it like that. What does that mean to you?
I hope at the end of all of this, he grows up knowing that he can fight for whatever he wants, as long as he stays dedicated to it. I mean, seeing it young now is great, um, but hopefully when he gets older, it'll be one of those where he's not afraid to take chances and he's not afraid to punch somebody in the mouth if the need arises. Or, I mean, do what his dad does and choke people out. It's a lot easier. It's a little more terrifying. Sometimes you don't have to break a hand. You can just get up right behind somebody and, tell them sweet nothings while they, you know, see the back of their eyelids. Um, but it's fun. He likes it. He really enjoys it. Uh, there's been a few times where he's tried to run into the ring to help his dear old dad out, but it's a good time. It's nice to see. It's nice to see him, be so active with it.
Okay. So when the time comes, so it seems like it's going to come with him. You gonna let him get in the ring? You gonna encourage it? What you gonna do?
I don't want to tell him no. It'll just be one of those where it's a hard business. At the end of the day, it's a really hard business. But as long as the fun is there, then that's fine. But yeah, when he gets that age, I think we got like another 10 years before he really starts figuring it out. Hopefully, I have another 10 years. I'm trying to be as even keel as possible, but the last few matches that I've had, it's been 2-on-1, 3-on-1, multi-man matches, and they just keep beating me down. Like they know that if it's 1-on-1, they can't take me, but 2-on-1, 3-on-1, all these multi-mans,
Yeah.
they know that's the only way they get Gustavo in the corner and get him out of there.
Yeah, nah, that is true. And what I see from you that I respected is that they almost view you like the threat of the fight. You know what I mean? Because it always seems like they either team up on you or they gang up on you. So to me, that's just, them seeing you as probably the threat.
I mean, when you're as big as I am and agile as I am and not afraid to get in the trenches, it's one of those where, yeah, when like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And it circles back around to like what I'm trying to teach my son is that you gotta go in there headstrong and take on as many people as you can, because clearly, although these people see me as a threat, which rightfully so, I am a multi-time champion in different promotions. Um, it's one of those where my hunger doesn't stop. It is just simply I go and I do and I try. And even if I don't win, I make sure people know who I am.
All right. Well, look, from the present all the way back to day one ish, man. Where you from, bro?
Gary. Uh,
Okay.
Ponce, Puerto Rico. Um, it's nice out there, but a lot of my life was in Gary. So it's one of those where learning how to fight was pretty early. And then going to Puerto Rico as well. Um, you also got to know how to fight.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
wherever you go, man. There's always trenches. There's always hood. You can't ever avoid it.
Okay. 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 A lot of legends coming out of Gary, though, man. That's it's got its it's got its reputation in one way, but in another, like
Mhm.
Gary has produced some legends.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
mean with
mean?
Charmel, her going to the Hall of Fame with
Mm-hmm.
ones. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people sleep on Freddie Gibbs, but now he just got those awards too. He got that recognition. I mean, it's one of those where you make it as it is. Everybody assumes just Michael Jackson's the only thing coming out of it, but like there's a lot more. Plus, I'm just saying, I think Gary has better chicken. So like you go around here, like we got Sharks, we got JJ's, we got some Heralds, not the ones with the numbers, but we do got some Heralds. But like you can't go to Ohio and get the same chicken that we do. You can't go to Michigan and get the same chicken that we do. You can go to Chicago, that's great, but you got to go to the hood to get the good chicken. Like
It's true.
you can't go to the north side expecting really good stuff that you're not going to pay $20 for two pieces of chicken. Like the trenches, that's where we're at. This little Chicagoland area right here.
Yes,
We got
sir.
like that's I don't ever want to travel somewhere, go to Texas to go choke somebody out, and then go somewhere thinking I'm gonna get good chicken wings with lemon pepper and mild sauce, and then I'm gonna get just barbecue chicken. Like I don't want that. Give me crispy chicken. I want that. I want that tang. People don't even know what mild sauce is.
Yeah, you say mild sauce anywhere outside of this area we in, they lose their mind.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to explain. It's like you got to be from here to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's other places like that about their own dishes. I'm not interested in it. I grew up here. I'm gonna stay here.
Exactly, exactly. Okay. So young Gustavo out in Gary, between Gary and Puerto Rico. So where did the love for wrestling start? Did it start super young? Did you catch on later on?
Oh, I was young. My grandma, who barely spoke English, we bonded through wrestling. So she had all the VHS tapes of the WWF superstars. I remember watching like Survivor Series and things like that, seeing Ricky Steamboat and Ted DiBiase,
Mm-hmm.
them going through, seeing Hulk Hogan, which wasn't a fan of him back then. And like, I get he's iconic and things like that. I mean, it is what it is. But I was a Steamboat guy. I was a Kurt Hennig, a Mr. Perfect guy. I was one of those where the pomp and circumstance was all right, it's cool, but like, man, seeing those people work, throwing drop kicks and like doing all the stuff, that's the stuff that got me into it. And it's fond memories that I have of her at like 3 and 4 years old, watching these tapes with her, and then like a few uncles and things like that sitting down, and then like growing up into the Attitude Era was was a fun time too. Going through elementary school, reciting everything that DX was saying to all these.
Right,
Uh, it's a fun time.
right. I know they give kids a lot of grief because they got the 6'7" thing right now. And I'm like, we had Suck It. back like 20 years ago. Like we had Suck It. So like let them have 6-7. Right? Let them have it. Y'all remember what we had back then.
They're
Okay, so mm,
they're doing all the 6-7. They're doing all the skibbity toilet. We had suck it. We had the if you smell. We had all of it. We had the
right.
catchphrases, and just going through school and getting in trouble and doing all that stuff. Now it's just they got the woes. They got the woes, and they got the ones though. Like I can't be mad at it. Like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Generational. So the Mr. Perfects and all that. So it seemed like the submission and the technical wrestling was kind of what attracted you early on.
Yeah, it was like especially Ricky the Dragon coming out with his entrance with Mr. Perfect with the swagger that he had. I mean, he's the coolest person in the room. You couldn't not look at him. And then the way that he was going over the top, doing his drop kicks, doing his arm drags, holding people, hitting that fisherman suplex, the perfect plex. I mean, nobody did it better. But then growing up and really seeing it, seeing the Attitude Era, seeing ECW, seeing a little bit of WCW. I wasn't too big on WCW, only because by the time I figured it out and I was like, oh, we can go back and forth on, our channels.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right at the tail end of everything. So,
Uh,
yeah. So, but I did get to see Raven's Flock. I did become a really big person on Raven and like Billy Kidman and seeing a lot of the cruiserweight stuff like before he came over, and Dean Malenko too, which doesn't get a whole lot of credit. He should get a lot more than what he does.
oh yeah.
And then just seeing them come over after everything, like the Radicals. The Radicals were great when they first came through, and people forget about that because like Perry Saturn was real tough. That was
Mm-hmm.
people were seeing him and how hard he hit people was one of those that I was like, I don't think I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems fun, but that man hits people. Or to see how fluid Eddie was or how technical Chris was. Um, yeah, and then Dean just being, the man of 1,001 holds type thing. Like the man probably has 1,010, but he just didn't want to gloat that much.
Yeah. They ain't have room for the other nine.
No,
So
he woman on each hand, so I don't think he really had the time for it.
okay. So what was like I for me, my earliest match I remember was Brett versus Bulldog, 92 SummerSlam. Can't tell you when I seen it, can't tell you if I seen it in 92. Can't tell you if I seen it in 93 or 94. But I know that was the match that kind of hooked me in. What was the match that kind of like pulled you into the whole thing? Do you remember that?
Mm, that had to be Austin Michaels with I believe it was Mike Tyson. That match at WrestleMania. That was the one seeing like, oh, okay, Shawn Michaels is really cool. Because at that time I was, still young, but I could really like get the grasp on it. And seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin be Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then seeing Mike Tyson, which like my family was a boxing, family, especially from everybody, from Puerto Rico.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
really, so we always had the boxing fight. So to see Mike Tyson crossing over into wrestling was one of those where I was like, that's really cool. And then seeing that match, I believe it was that match. I believe that's who it was. Um, yeah, it was that, and then the Brawl for All too, which was one of those where it started blurring the lines. But the one that really got me into it, I believe, was that one. I think that's the one that really sunk in. And then after that, I just started watching all the time because back in the day we had this thing called cheater boxes. Um,
Hmm.
Not many people know what those are now. They got super boxes, but the cheater boxes were the thing back in the day.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, so I was watching a lot of those pay-per-views. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, man, that takes me back.
Okay. So young Gustavo working through the attitude era, get up to high school. Did you have that like teenage lull from wrestling, or did you power through all the way through?
Oh no, I told my parents. Well, I told my mom about it, and she was like, "That? Why would you want to do that?" And then it was one of those where like it looks fun. It seems fun. I was already athletic. I was a little slimmer back then. I had abs. I could carry myself. Like I could do a backflip straight off the ground, and it was like I can do that. They do that. I can do that. Um, yeah, she was one of those where she's like, "Well, it's not the military, so that's fine." And
Right.
realize that they make a good chunk of change, man. Like that was one of those where I was like, if I made it, that's some generational type of money. And yeah, once that happened, especially in like high school years, so like 15, 16, 17, things like that.
Oh, so that was the goal early then. That was pretty
Yeah,
much.
that was
Oh,
one of where a lot of places they didn't want to train you if you were a kid, and if they did, there wasn't good training. Like that's
right.
where it's few and far between to really get good training, especially at that age around that time. Um, there wasn't a whole lot of feds that were running around my area. Everything was still in Chicago or the Chicagoland area, but like out in Gary, you didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Really anything out this way, it had to be mainly Chicago. But I mean, I didn't get an actual job with a paycheck until I was like 18, so I had to keep the
Woo.
do the backyarding until I had the funds to actually go to a school.
So mentioning that before we go on into the actual training, mentioning that you Puerto Rican and your people really, I know like boxing is huge
Yeah,
in y'all community for y'all. Give me your top three Puerto Rican boxers.
pass.
You don't want to. You want
I,
to get no. Want to get no shit started.
I I got family that lives in Humboldt Park. I don't need them to be like, "What did you say?" It's the holiday. I'm not trying to cause no fires. Not even smoke fire. I don't want to.
True.
I don't want that. I love all of them. They're doing great. I know they're fighting for their family and for themselves, not just the paycheck. But hard pass. I'm not trying to bait me into stuff.
I mean,
Try to fight 10 people at the same time, man.
I gotta ask the tough questions, man. It's just hard hitting journalism, man.
Oof.
We want to know, but I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. And for the chat, if anybody's listening, appreciate y'all tuning in. If you want to leave questions down at in the chat, we'll make sure we get them in throughout the show. So you and mom talking it out, saying you want to get into the business. Where was the door that let you in? Where did you start your training? Who put you on game?
So after everything was said and done, because it was one of those agreements where finish high school, did that, went to college, I did that. I found a place local called Fire Pro Wrestling, and I started training there. That was in a little outside of Gary, so it wasn't too far. I got trained by Kenny Courageous, and I did a lot of seminars with them too. Rhino came through there, a few other people. That training was I mean it was standard training. Kenny was one of those where he was very tough. He was very firm. He had to be because I mean at the end of the day you're protecting yourselves and other people. So it was a lot of mental a lot of mental toughness as well as like the physical because running those ropes, not many people understand those are either ropes or cables, and either which way they still hurt. That tension on them is something different. Like you will be bruised for a long time, and it's just building and then building and building. Um, but I did suffer a torn rotator cuff during training, so I sat
Wow.
for a while. And then when I got better, I ended up moving training facilities. I was training at ARW, so they're another local spot, but they have so many talented people that come in and out of the WWE doing their tryouts and stuff like that, holding seminars and things. That I was very gracious for that training, and then COVID hit.
Mm,
Everything took a pause. Like you couldn't do anything. So when everything got lifted, I just got back to training, and then
okay.
After that was one of those where we met a person that we have a similar kinship to, the real deal, Mr. Rion Skills. So he got me prim, proper, and up to speed and stuff. And if it wasn't for him, Gustavo wouldn't be where Gustavo is. So a lot of this is because of him.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Shout out to the real deal, man. That's what's up, man. That's a good brother. That's a good brother. So, when was your first match?
Ooh, that was, I believe, my first official match was like August of 23 at IPW, and just that was a medallion tournament qualifier against um what does he go by? At the time it was undeniable Nick Diamond, but that man is ever evolving with his statutes and nicknames and things like that. He's definitely your auntie's favorite wrestler. You got to hide all the aunties. He is definitely
Hmm.
where being in the ring with him definitely helped me a lot. And from there, it just kind of took off of everything. In IPW, ARW, I've had my matches, Rocket Pro Wrestling, C3. It's great. It's great times because of just that. And then feeling validated after that first match of being like, I can do this. Like, it's completely fine. Like, it doesn't suck that bad. And, winning is great. Winning is absolutely great. But sometimes even losses, you still win because you have to learn from them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, your actual in ring career is relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are you looking for to like get out of that? Because I've talked to people who wrestled 20 years. I've talked to people who've been in the business 30 years. You know what I'm saying? You're how would you officially when would you say you started training? Like the official year you started training?
That was probably 16, 17, 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a little time invested as far as
Yeah.
your efforts into trying to get in the ring. So now that you're in and you 2-3 years in,
Mhm.
what are you trying to get out of it now?
Everything. Absolutely everything. I want people to know that if they are across the ring from me, they know that they're not safe. They cannot run from me. They are going to fight me, whether they like it or not. And whatever they have, I want. That's just plain and simple. I want what they have, the money in their pockets, the lunch money tucked in their socks. I don't give a damn what they have. I want it. I want them to know that Gustavo isn't just a person, it's a entity and a being that's going to haunt them when they go to sleep because they woke up with me over them saying, I won. I took that cash. I got my win. Sorry sucks to suck. And I want to do that until I physically cannot do it anymore. Because if anything, it just shows that with dedication and a lot of spite, you can get pretty far. I mean, and with my son always watching me, I want him to make sure that he knows as long as he fights the good fight and he can win and be on top. Sometimes you got to fight a little dirty, but I mean, at the end of the day, a win is a win.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, gotta get that paycheck, gotta get that winner's check. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. So in the last couple of years, what's been like one of your favorite moments? Just a moment that kind of sit with you right now that resonates with you as far as like in the ring or in training or something like that.
Really, the only thing that I mean, winning championships is one thing. Like it makes you feel like you did something. Um,
So what's been your favorite title win then? Which one's sitting the most? Which means the most to you right now?
well, to answer the first part of your question, it's not so much in the ring or the memories, it's the crowd coming out and hearing the cheers. When I was getting cheered, that meant more. But there's been certain people to take me to a place where now there's not a lot of people that cheer for me, which is fine. But the best championship win I've probably had was probably the second time I won the IPW Trios Championship. The first one was fine because I won that with Steve Arrant, the Agent of Chaos, and Muggsy James. And we took those from the workhorses, which was fine. It was great. They had it for 364 days. It was their time. Um, so they picked on me. I got two good people that were behind me, and we took it. And then they wanted the rematch, and then we just took it again. I personally choked them out. Um, but the second time was one of those where it was more validated. It felt more real. We took ours. It was myself, Kota Camillo, Aiden Way, and we're just down and out punks that just had a chip on our shoulder. And with the right circumstances and the right people behind us, was one of those where we just took what was ours, what was owed to us, especially for IPW. After the first time where we lost, I didn't want to lose again, and I definitely took that. That one is the one that means a lot to me, because then people really saw who Gustavo was, and still is to a degree. I'm working through it, man. I'm trying to not let anger get the better of me. I'm trying to smile more, and I'm trying to just be with the people. But that takes time in and of itself.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when you locked in and focused on the goal, and when you like tunnel vision, sometimes you might rub people the wrong way. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's all to the greater good. So sometimes it's got to be done. Sometimes it's got to be done. So we do have a question from the chat. Shout out to Rashawn, my co-host. I'm new to indie wrestling in the last couple of years. So to a young indie to a young indie fan, what do you want from fans? What has indie wrestling given and taken from you? Damn good question.
To any fans that are out there, realize two things. One, your voice does carry, it does travel, and it does have weight. So be loud, be interactive, be respectful. Because the second part of that is if hands go one way, they go the other way too. That is one of those where there's a whole lot of compilations online about people crossing that line, that barricade, that everything. I understand it, but be a fan. Now, if you want to get the training to come into the ring to face somebody like me because I choked out your favorite wrestler or I pummeled them into the ground, absolutely. I implore you, matter of fact, I will send you a list of schools that you can go to. Um, just so you can work up the strength to come and face me or anybody else that you might have some sort of beef with, turmoil, or whatever the kids call it these days. But as a fan, enjoy. Enjoy everything, because it's one of those where we all reciprocate it. We all absorb it. We, take that into heart in consideration. If you boo me, fine, I get it, but be loud about it. If you're going to cheer me, absolutely. Give me that high five. I don't care if there's mustard on your hands, whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's just one of those where, like, don't sit on your hands. Don't just go, oh, okay, I like that guy, and then not do anything. Like, it doesn't help.
Yeah. you Wrestling fans have a unique ticket when they buy a ticket, right? You're not just going to watch a show. A lot of it is about being a part of the show.
Yeah. And some people are afraid to do that. Some people will go there and then it's like they're watching it on TV, but it's live. So they hear all the impacts. They can smell the sweat. They can just they're there, but it's one of those where it's almost a mental disconnect, where like
Right.
they don't understand. Hey, I can say something, and then that's part of the show too, because there's been quite a few times somebody has said something to me, and I am literally hands on somebody's throat, going, "Well, you and your mama, like." I don't care. I'm gonna stop this. I will go right to you. And then it's one of those where like it happens. And
Mm-hmm.
have fun with it? Absolutely. That person's gonna go home and be like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have said that to that guy. But then
Mm-hmm.
time I go in, it is what it is. I finish the match, and then if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But that person, that fan, is definitely going, huh? Like that man really did say something about my mama. Yeah, next week when I see this dude, and I'm going to say something else to him. And I'm going to come back
Mm-hmm.
then next week and get into his face. And then it's one of those where, whether you like it or not, you need to send me a Christmas card because we're just interacting at this point.
Right. All right. So, being at that this is shooting from the script, I have my segment I like to call hit or miss. All right. So I'm gonna give you some wrestling tropes, scenarios, and you let me know hit or miss. All
Mm.
right. So signs at the shows, hit or miss.
I'm going to say mostly a hit. I like them. I like seeing them. Um, Sometimes they're a miss, though, because some of these people can't spell. So, like, you're just embarrassing yourself. Like, just tear that poster board up. But, like, for the most part, it's a hit. I like it.
All right. Best sign you probably seen, or you can try to recall, or something crazy you seen somebody write on the sign at wrestling shows.
If you haven't gone to a Rocket Pro Wrestling show, do because those people are invested. They have big heads, like the big heads.
The big
Uh,
cutouts and stuff.
yeah, they're doing like they're talking trash with signs, like just crazy things, and it's inside of like just something that seats maybe 300 people. They got their bar, like they got a whole walk-in, like it's a crazy place, and you wouldn't think of it because it's like inside of some like baseball field. So it's like a rec center in a baseball field type thing. It's in
Mhm.
Joliet, and it's one of those where like you go in there, the ring is awesome, like the entrance, the Titantron, the smoke, the everything. Then you look out and you see people with signs talking about like one person sucks eggs or the other person is a bum, and then like I like this guy. Like it's a crazy time. I wish there were more signs out in the wild, but
Mhm.
like it is what it is. If the fans would participate more, then it would be all right. If I start
Yeah.
like 6 7, I wouldn't even be mad about it. Like it would pop me. I would giggle at it. I'd have to hit him with one of these real quick.
Oh, dude, if this was the Attitude Era and 6 7 was out in the Attitude Era, you'd hit the big foam hands. You see the hands in the crowd or something
Got
like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's our thing. We're gonna start a campaign. Bring the signs back in 2026, man. Encourage the indie shows. Encourage the indie promotions to set up some. It's go to Dollar Tree, y'all. It's an extra $20 on the budget, but it would be so worth it. Set
Yeah,
up some boards, have the kids or fans come in and have them pay $1 for a sign. Have them pay $1 and they can customize their own sign. There you go. My free gym to you,
yeah. I've even
pro
seen
wrestling world.
one of those where like, mind you, the little kids that like it's fine, but like at the end of it, they're so far in the back that like I can't just go up to them and rip the sign. I gotta wait till they come up to me, so then I can rip,
Hmm.
or I can sign the sign, or I can just be like, "Why me?" But I get it. It's fine. It is what it is. I got a purple singlet and it gets over because people think I look like Barney the Purple Dinosaur. It is what it is. I can't complain about it. I'm just surprised, kids are still watching Barney. But
Yeah, that's real. That's real. All right, chops, hit or miss.
mm, if I'm giving them, hit and hit hard. If I'm taking them, miss. Absolutely miss. Like it's a it's a hit for me. Like chops are one of those where if you don't overdo it and you make it mean something, then it's effective. But like I see people coming in and just straight out the gate, and it's like, all right, cool, man. Like you do you. It's fine. That doesn't mean anything when you're 5-10 minutes in and you're just hitting more chops, and it's like it didn't work the first time. How about the third
Right.
time? The fifth time? But
Right.
when
Right.
corner, and then they got you, and it's something about it where like you manhandle a person into the corner, and then you just hit them with everything you got to watch the air sink out of their lungs and then just collapse, just to pick them back up and then hit them again, just to make sure that they got the point that you ain't in there for just any old business. Like you're in there to win. That's
So so
that's
we going knife edge, we going overhand. What's the preferred chop style?
I like throwing my whole body from elbow to the hand straight into the chest. That
Oh man.
ugh, just I want all of the air out. But if it's one of those where they're a larger person and it's not gonna work, like, or if they're a skinnier person and I know my wingspan is just gonna hit them from shoulder to shoulder, I'm going with that overhand, just straight, just palm that hard and just hit them with everything. And I think that's a little more effective actually because it's so fast. It's one of those where you just I can hold somebody by the throat and just hit them. I don't have to like really like sink into it. It's a good one. I think I'll probably start using that a little bit more. A little bit more.
There you go. All right. Intergender matches. Hit or miss.
Hey, I don't know if you've seen some of these women, but there's they not only can handle themselves against a dude, but they can beat 90% of the dudes that they are across the ring with.
Oh
Most
shit.
of them. Like Renee Van Peebles is one of those where I wouldn't want to be across the ring from her. Like I've seen what she throws a beautiful Northern Light suplex.
Oh man.
Like
We gotta say it all the time.
no, I don't want that smoke. Like even if I try to hold her down, I've watched her run right around somebody, up, down, hold a person. Just no, I don't want that. Even Brittany K, I don't want to be across the ring from her because she's gonna kick me in the mouth. I know my place. I'm not doing that. I would much rather be in a match with them when they're on my team. Like,
Gotcha.
I'll do that. That's fine. But, like, no, not them. I'd much rather be friends with them or at least acquaintances. But to be on the opposite of them, I don't want that smoke. I'm going to tag out. You got this. Like, I'm good. There are
Oh
two
yeah.
come to mind that, like, I wouldn't, that especially in like the inner circle of what we have that I've performed with and like been on the same cards with, that there are two that absolutely do stand out.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like if you're in the ring with them, guy, girl, doesn't matter. Like it's gonna be not only a technical fight, but it's just gonna be a fight in general.
Oh yeah.
My money's always gonna be on especially those two if I do see them in the ring.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Two of the faves over here, especially Renee. I say every time Renee might have the best Northern Lights ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I've probably never seen anybody hit that like that. And when she had a last match against Amina Belmont too. She
Uh,
tough. So and she hit her with that and Amina kicked out. And I mean the shock that went through Harold's private venue was like, what? Like no, I've never seen anybody kick out of that. So that was crazy.
I was icing down in the back because I had a match with TDG and
Hmm.
J, and I remember that match going on and watching her. Like I've seen her wrestle a handful of times. Like she can work. I've never seen Amina, and the way that she manhandled Amina and that Northern Lights, beautiful. was one of those where I'm like, all right, well, I mean, good for Amina for trying, but like Renee is just a whole other level.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. We'll combine these. What slash sing along chants?
What? Absolutely not. Just just get that out of there. That's a mess. But any sing-alongs hit, absolutely. Sing to your heart. But what's like every time? It's hard to not want to just Wayne Brady somebody, man. It's just hard to not want to go out and just start slapping people. It's like, what do you mean what? I'm bilingual. I know I am speaking English. What are you talking about? Like, just because you don't like me doesn't mean you have to shut your ears off. Or really anybody. You hear that going on and it's just like it's like go home. Like, don't be that fan. Go home. What like just watch outside.
All right. Yeah, the what fans. Thankfully they've tapered off in the last like year or so. So we might have grown past that. So super kicks. Hit
Mm,
or miss.
that is sorry, my telephone is being a telephone. Whatever
Yeah,
this is.
good.
Um it's a miss, man. To me, it's a miss. There are so many super kicks that are thrown for the sake of just being thrown. And there's so many variations of super kicks. There's really only three super kicks that I recognize that are actually devastating. One is Shawn Michaels. He has like probably the best, if not one of the best. Stevie Richards, that Stevie kick, and then Lance
Okay.
Storm. Like that man
Wow.
throws a kick. It's
Yeah.
yeah, because he just straight into it.
Yeah, he was kicking through their face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those dudes like him, uh uh Perry Saturn,
Hmm.
Dean Malenko, where it felt just on another level.
Yeah.
Right. It felt on another level with them just because they were like their characters were typically like so serious and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So what they present and what they bring was just as tough, just as serious. So yeah, Lance Storm was like he was kicking people teeth out their mouth.
Yeah. And he's so tall too. So his legs are already so
Mm,
long. So like the way that he would like gain that energy and that momentum to kick through the person, absolutely.
mhm,
Like just
mhm,
he's murdering people. Like it's one thing when like Rusev or Miro when he throws that kick, like that hopping like step kick. That's not
mhm.
really a kick, but it's a thrust kick.
Right,
That's but like Perry, Dean, a lot of luchas that will throw those super kicks and stuff like that. Some of them look really pretty. Like Shawn Michaels is pretty. Like, but I mean, he's Mr. WrestleMania for a reason. He won a lot
right.
of matches those super kicks.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
but yeah, but seeing it now, it's a miss. There's a lot of people that are just throwing them. It doesn't have the same spice. It's not black pepper. It's like nutmeg. Like it's just
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Thigh slaps.
who who does that? Who hit somebody? Just you're just hit them. Miss. If you're being funny for the sake of being funny, sure. Like, ha, got him. But just hit him. Just hit. Just don't. You get if you don't want to hit them, then just don't. Just don't do it. Just don't be in. Just don't. Just this isn't for you.
Yeah.
Hit them. No thigh slapping, unless if I'm attacking your thigh, then yeah, I'm gonna slap your thigh. Like it's fine. Like if I saw had thunder thighs coming for me trying to kick my head in, I'm gonna slap thigh. I'm gonna slap the thigh. That's fine. Like
Makes sense.
that is a whole other thing. But just Mm.
All right. And finally, smart marks.
Uh, you know what? I'm gonna say hit because they're the ones that keep coming back. They keep spending their money. They keep having all that trash to talk. Sometimes they're the ones who bring the signs, but a lot of times they're the ones that are talking about the events. So I'm gonna say hit. They're the ones that are coming through that are on their phones doing whatever these smart marks do. They're trying to like catch you after the show, which you still have to wear deodorant. I don't know who told you you don't have to use smart marks. Um, wear deodorant, please. It's most of the time these shows they're right around the corner from a dollar store. There's Dollar Generals literally every 6 blocks now. Spend $2. You don't even have to spend the money actually. Just go there, find one of the sprays, put it on you, and then just walk out like nothing happened. Like you can have a trial of deodorant and then come in and then spend your money, pay me, and then talk all the trash you want. It's completely fine. I say it's a hit. Some people won't agree with that, but I'm one of those. I say it's a hit.
Yeah, I've had mixed opinions on that since I've been doing this segment, but I'm getting more, surprisingly more hits, and for the same reason. It's like hate or love their opinion, they are the highest level of investment.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Shout out to the smart marks, man. All right, we got a couple more. All right, so that was hit or miss. That was hit or miss. So we got a couple more questions from the chat. What's your favorite non wrestling activity?
Um. So like any Hispanic household in the '90s, you had to learn an instrument. Because everybody wanted to be either Selena Quintanilla's band or they wanted to be like Menudo or things like that. So I picked up guitar, but not just guitar. I picked up the bass guitar because I realized less strings, less problems. So I like doing that. And outside of that, I am fat. I do like to cook. I do barbecue because protein is number one for all the good muscular gains that a professional wrestler needs. Number two is sleep, but I don't get any sleep around here. So it's if it's not throwing bodies, if I got an extra minute, I'll play some bass. Play a little Bruno Mars. Play something nice and smooth. And usually while I'm waiting, for my ribs to finish cooking on the grill, or that nice
Nice.
hot roast and things like that. Like this Thanksgiving, I'm doing two turkeys. Why am I doing two turkeys?
Ooh,
I don't know. I have two turkeys, and why not cook both? I'm gonna do one just salt, pepper, garlic, and then the other one I'm gonna do with the adobo, with the sazon and the sofrito. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hook that one up, and then the other is just salt, pepper, garlic. Like just keep it simple, keep it basic.
oh yeah.
Maybe if I got
So
some extra fruits, I'll throw it in the cavity. Be one of those people. But and to all those people, tangent that put stuffing in their turkey or dressing, whatever, and you put it in the cavity. Don't eat that. Who told you that? Why? You're not gaining anything out of it. It's gross. Like nobody does that. Like don't ruin your holiday. I will come over and I will scoop that stuffing out of it and throw it at your dog. I don't even care if you have a dog or not. I'm throwing it at something. That don't waste food. You know where we're at? What time? What timeline this is? Don't do that.
very true.
Just
Very
cook it on the stovetop like a regular person. Don't be that person.
That is true. Yeah, that's a struggle right there. Eating cavity stuffing. Yeah, that's
Mm.
bad. That's bad. All right. Are you for old school, always keeping kayfabe, or are you with bringing fans behind the curtain and expose the business? So yeah, that's one of the conversations me and Rashawn always having. Like how far should the curtain get pulled back? Do you want it to just be like completely like unreal with WWE? Which even with that being as backstage as it was,
Mhm.
still felt extra super produced. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it was. But do you want it? That was still a lot. Like that was still some exposure we haven't even seen before. Or do you want to kind of
So
protect it a little more?
Unreal is one of those where it's a very they give you a very specific window like being in the business and kind of like giving the game plan. It's almost like you see the NFL, you see all these players, you know what they are, you see them for what they are, but then they take you backstage and like, hey, here are the running plans. Like, here's everything that, our offense and defense should be doing. Here's kind of the goal after it's all said and done. So it's one of those where in that instance, it's a multi like $1 billion company at this point where it's like, sure, the kids, they're not going to know or understand. It's more of us in our age to be like, how, especially at a business standpoint, how are things being ran? What do you think like it is? Like how long does this have to take to, have something good? Me personally, kayfabe is one of those where it should be kept alive and well. If you want to befriend a person, that is up to you as a not only performer but as a person. But when it comes to the business itself, let those smart marks be, their smart selves. It's one of those where you don't have to tell everybody everything, and especially now with social media and all the just audio and visual just digestion that happens where we're constantly just taking in. um it's one of those where it's very, very seldom do we actually get to control what we can control. So if it comes to like kayfabe and keeping a character and things like that, like this, Gustavo is myself and I am Gustavo. So what you see is what you get. I might dance a little bit, and I do got some anger issues that I really do need to um, work on for the most part. But it's one of those where if you see me after a show, if you see me with my family, if you see me with other wrestlers who I'm just shaking their hand and just being like, hey man, you tried your best, or hey, you got the better of me, or whatever the situation might be. I mean, don't be afraid to come up to me. But if you're going to ask me some inside baseball stuff, I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to look at you like you suddenly grew a third ear. Like, mm,
So what went into the idea of booking that match? Like, what to get your guitar?
yeah, like what, Matt? Like, these are people that are just fighting each other. Like, nobody books things anymore, sir. This is kind of a call your shot gauntlet. Except there's a
Mm-hmm.
few people that we don't let happen. Like,
Yeah,
there's a
no,
few
for real.
we just don't. Like, there's some things that we need to keep sacred, and unfortunately, kayfabe is one of them to an extent. Like, there's some
Mm-hmm.
things that you can let people know about, especially with Unreal being as it is now, and people getting a little bit smarter about the business. But there's still some things. There's a lot of things that they didn't show
Oh yeah,
for good. Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure. All right, one more question, and then we'll get up out of here. I mean, we hit this last little portion, and we get out of here. I know you said you can't see you in a one-on-one match catch a fade. What's your you? I know you said people can't see you in a one-on-one or catch a fade. What's your favorite or least favorite type of matches, and how do you feel about Extreme Rules and
Well,
and and blood?
with with the one-on-ones that I've had, they've been fun. People do get the better of me, but I also get the better of those people as well. Um, there's only been a few actual one-on-ones that I've lost. A lot of times I do end up winning because they don't know how to tolerate the aggression that I have. They're not really prepared for it. The multi-mans, like the past few matches in C3, were triple threats, but it wasn't necessarily a triple threat in a traditional sense, but we're all fighting a three-way dance. It's two people gaining traction and putting boots to me to get me out, for them to get the upper hand on each other, just to see me. The TDG and Jay Leon match that I was in, I threw TDG at Jay Leon. Like, and this was well into the match. I had fight going through me like a dog that was hungry. With this last one with Mr. Young, that crazy bastard, and um I can't even
Miles.
Just
Miles. Yeah, Miles
is that
Mercer.
the name? Because I remember getting speared and then seeing lights. Because again, it was two people. Yeah, Miles Mercer is his name. It took me a little bit because I don't know if you remember, but Mr. Young bit my thigh, which like going back to thigh slapping,
Thigh
he
bite.
attacked the thigh. He went straight for the meat, and that threw me off of everything.
So I'm assuming thigh bites are a miss.
Yeah, that's if there's thigh bites in a match, that has to be an Extreme Rules match, some sort of hardcore, some sort of no holds barred. Am I a fan of that? I can't say yes or no. Because that happened, and if if I would have thought of it first, I would have done it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Blood is one of those where I'm not a fan of it because gross. Sorry. That's just it's a thing. If I bleed, it's a problem. If somebody else bleeds, it's their problem. I don't want that. Because sometimes when you see your own blood, you become superhuman.
Yeah, do something to you.
And
Yeah.
I'm not, this is a gentleman's contest. I'm not trying to get to that point. But if it is a blood feud, then I mean, let the ancestors kind of take us over. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah.
if it's that kind of war, then let it be war. I don't think I don't have not a favorite match. I I haven't really been in anything. I've been in cage matches. I've been in a lot of multi matches. I've been in four corners. I've been in scrambles. I've been in a lot of battle royals. I think that's probably my least favorite because it feels cheap. Because again, you're gaining up on a bunch of people and you're trying to work with people that sometimes you've never even seen them before, just to get the upper hand, just for them to get the upper hand, just for somebody else you didn't even know was in the match to get the upper hand. And then before you know it, either you're the final four or you're already out within 2 minutes because you had 10 people trying to throw you out. And a lot of times it ain't even for nothing. An extra $10, a hot dog and a handshake, maybe a cool Benjamin. Like, I've never been in a battle royal that ended up with a title at the end. Who does that anymore? I think that has to be my least favorite type. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's a good that's a good thing though. Like more battle royals for titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with that. I'm absolutely with that. I forgot who did. I think it was Roman Reigns or somebody. And somebody did it more recently
Mhm.
with the Rumble. But I know Reigns defended the title in the Rumble one year. And that was pretty damn cool because the Rumble had got stale. Like it was just the Rumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it needed that little extra reason to sit up here and watch this shit for an hour. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Facts,
Yeah.
man.
And I believe Brock Lesnar did the same thing too. It was like right
Right.
after, and it
Mm-hmm.
was one of those where he ended up getting eliminated. I think Drew was
Mm-hmm.
on it,
Yep.
like either Drew or Roman, like one of them. But it was the same thing where it's like, yeah, you're sitting there for over an hour watching this. Like, let it be for something.
Mm-hmm.
Even more recently with AEW in Full Gear, they just had that casino gauntlet for the not NWA National
Yeah.
Heavyweight Title or whatever. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of the same concept, but like that was one of those where you don't know how many people are in it. It's just kind of a whoever gets the first pinfall or submission type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of cool. But again, like if there's nothing to fight for, what are you fighting for? Like
Yeah.
my time is my money, and we all have the proverbial bump card. So if I'm going into somewhere and it's not for a really good payout or for a championship or even the chance or opportunity, which I'm grateful for every opportunity that I do get, but I also understand I'm not stupid. Like if I have to fight somebody, that's either an enemy that I'm making for the rest of my life until we find a common ground, or it's just kind of one of those situations where, hey, man, we're just trying to get to the top.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in C3, I know this next match that I do have, I believe, is for some gold. and I believe I do have a really good team that's behind me coming. So I do hope the ancestors help me with that one. But if not, I'm taking somebody's ear. That's for sure. Going
Yeah.
for ears now.
And what Denzel say? I'm leaving it with something.
That's right.
Leaving it with something. All right, man. So look, let's get into our last little bit, and I'll let you get on your way. I know you say your time is money. So, what's your dream match? It can have you in it. It could be with other people that you would just want to watch. What's your dream match?
Mm.
And this could be anybody in the timeline.
Personally, I don't know if I do have a dream match. I take that back. It would be myself versus like Jeff Cobb.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's somebody that is we're close in size, we're close in stature, we're close in everything. That's little meat hitting each other. That's big stocky boys, trying to do some damage to each other.
man. That's
Um
that's what's his name in WWE? Mateo, JC
yeah,
Mateo. Yeah,
yeah.
that's JC Mateo for those who don't know. Yeah, Jeff Cobb. Oh man, yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's one of those where um when I was going through old like New Japan stuff and seeing him do his thing, I'm like, yeah, and then him and PWG doing the same thing. I was like, I could get behind that because a lot of my stuff is like Taz and things like that, shorter, stockier people like hitting submissions and stuff.
Hmm.
But I think dream match in general would have to be like, oh, I don't, I don't know because there's been so much wrestling. Everything that I am thinking of is probably already been done. Where like
Yeah.
there's, especially with like YouTube and everything being uploaded, there's not a whole lot that couldn't be done. So like
Okay.
unless if we're like like people who are passed on, then yeah, it would be awesome to
Yeah, it
see
could
like
be anybody. Yeah, it could be anybody. Anybody
like
versus anybody.
yeah, because it would be cool to see like father son stuff, like Mr. Perfect versus his son.
Oh.
Be that going back and forth, working 15 minutes for who gets the perfect plex type
Hmm.
thing, or seeing just like seeing Darby Allen versus Mick Foley, like Cactus Jack, going back and forth for that. Like that would be a
Somebody
fun.
would die. Somebody would probably die.
Yeah. Just stuff like that, like especially like a Misawa match. Like just have
Mm.
him really anybody. Him and Tanahashi going back and forth would be pretty cool. Just a nice classic like Japanese match. But it's like again, we have everything and everything that we could more than likely dream of. If it's not done in some sort of WWE 2K simulation, it's probably already on YouTube that was done in some bingo hall somewhere.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So, last question. You got the money in the bank. You got the interdimensional, intergalactic money in the bank. You can cash in on any champion in any time period that's ever held a belt. You just pop up and cash in on 'em. Who you cashing in on?
I'm taking this title, and it's the only man that I will ever have a beef with, only because I didn't know this man was French for a long time. I'm going to Rio de Janeiro. I'm going straight for Pat Patterson. I'm taking that title. This man's not going to stand a chance. He's not even going to know what happened. I didn't know the man was French. I thought this dude was just a dude, just regular old, just for the longest time. And then to come to find out, this man is like, oh, he won the first intercontinental title in Rio de Janeiro, and like, no, I'm going there first. I'm gonna find this man. I'm gonna go right into that match, and as soon as he thinks he wins it, he's getting goozled and thrown him over. I'm gonna be the first, and then I'm gonna hold that title until I meet the honky tonky man, and then we're beefing. Like, We going at it.
Nice. Cause man, the he won the title in the tournament and Risha did is it's legendary. So
Yeah.
yeah, to be able to have that story, yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. Okay, man. Hey, look, Gustavo, as always, man. Appreciate the chat, bro. It's always a good time talking to you, man. Let everybody know what's coming up for you, what shows you're gonna be at, where they can find you, all that good shit.
For the remainder of 2025, I am keeping to myself. So if you need to reach out to me, uh, don't. I'm not going to let you disturb my peace. 2026, on the other hand, you can catch me at Rocket Pro Wrestling. That is going to be January 10th. That's in the St. Joe uh, auditorium that they have. They're there. They're always there. They're consistently there. You want to see a great crowd, you go to Rocket Pro Wrestling. But February 21st, which is a Saturday, you can catch me on some big business at C3. Um, that's going to be great. And then for the rest of 2026, you're just going to have to follow my socials. I got Snapchat. I got TikTok. I have an Instagram. You can actually just follow not only my page that I have on Facebook, but an actual profile that you can find me. All you have to do is search La Sumisión Gustavo, and you will find everything that you need to know about me, besides which sock and which shoe I put on first. That you won't know. Or is it sock, shoe, sock, shoe? Is it sock, sock, shoe, shoe? Which, how do you put your socks and shoes on?
Okay. Um, I want to say like if I'm just like regular day, it's sock, shoe, shoe. But if I'm getting dressed like clean, like I'm about to go out, sock, shoe.
Right. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I mean, we got a little bit more time left. It's fine. But it's one of those where, like, I thought I was the crazy person. And I know, like, I've been hit in the head quite a bit. But,
Right.
like, there's always a method to the madness. Like, sometimes you just slip on the chanclas and you just go out the door. Like, it is what it is. You just kind of,
Yeah.
just socks kind of mangled. It is just put them on and go because you're only going to the corner store. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, that fresh outfit, you got to make
Yeah.
sure the socks are where they're at. And then you got to make sure there's no
Mm-hmm.
creases. You got to make sure each late, like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad I'm not the only one.
Nah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you. Man, appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you for stopping by and having a chat with us. Shout out to everybody who watched on all platforms. Make sure you go follow Shooting from the Script on Facebook and on YouTube. And with that said, we all out of bullets.